Hello everyone, my name is Idiotic Synergy and today we are talking about the Warhammer 40k Battleforces. Also, in some other good news, me personally, I'm not recording this at 1:30 in the morning, so I've got my sleep schedule back so I don't feel like shit. So that's good. Anyway, on to more important things, the Warhammer 40k Battleforces, because they've been revealed for people to get for Christmas, even though we're still in November. Oh dear. Anyway, these boxes, we're gonna go through them, but if you're a Xenos player, you've been shafted. And if you're a Chaos player, or Chaos Demons player, or just a regular Chaos player that doesn't play Thousand Suns or Death Guard, you've been shafted. It feels like it's very much the Imperium battle forces with two Chaos forces because they felt like they have to, but Xenos has totally been disregarded. There is nothing for Tau, nothing for Orcs. There's just nothing. I'm sorry to say. However, the boxes I think are alright. I think they're alright. We'll go through them and we'll see what what you might think in the comments. Please leave a comment down below. Ooh, I'm doing the proper YouTubing thing now, I think. Anyway, starting off strong, we have got the Adeptus Sororitas Sanctium Guard, and if you like Paragon war suits, and yeah, that's it. It's basically, if you want some pretty cool Paragon war suits with a squad attached to it, as well as some Celestian Sacrosancts, I think I'm saying that right, with unbreakable shields, not just any shields, unbreakable shields, then this is for you. Also, it's important to point out that you've got the big old main character for Sisters of Battle, Morven Val, who is in her own Paragon war suit. So yeah, if you love Paragon war suits, this one's for you. However, if you don't, then don't get it. I'm not your dad. I don't tell you what to do. Moving on is probably my favourite one out of the bunch. It's the Adeptus Custodes Watchers of the Gate. I like this one. However, there is no Sisters of Silence, and I think that's a shame. I think they're really, really underrated. I generally believe they're underrated because Sisters of Silence are kind of flimsy and die easily. People don't bring them, but I think they look really cool. And if you're fighting against Psykers, it's amazing. But they're more of a situational choice. But I just want more people to bring Sisters of Silence because I think their models look sick. Anyway, Watchers of the Gate. You have General Trajan Valoris. And yeah, you've got a whole bunch of men here, like big beefy men. Big beefy men. Yes, you've got a lot of big beefy men here. You've got three Veltris Praetors on Dawn Eagle jet bikes. You can build one as a shield captain. You've got 15 Custodian Guard, which can be built into shield captains and praetors. You've got 3 Aloris Custodians. Yeah, it's just a really solid unit. It feels like the most complete box out of all of them. Like, if you get that, you have a pretty good sizable force. I like that. I don't know what the prices will be for this. I'm kind of hoping it won't be over £100 because yeah, I don't know the prices and I don't really want to speculate because it's impossible to tell. It is impossible to tell with pricing at the minute. So then you've got the Adeptus Mechanicus Elimination Mandible, and this one with this one I think it could benefit from a few more Skitari. However, if you really like having a mechanized... If you like bloody Cataphron Destroyers or Breaches, basically these guys on tire tracks, you're there. You're there. Also, it's got big old Benazarius Call here, which I like Ben Azarius cool. His model is a pain in the ass, but I do like the model. The model to build and to paint, I hate. The model and the once you do paint it and build it or repair it, and you know a bit about the character, I think the character is really cool. But yeah, me personally, I would kind of want another squad of Skitari or maybe just some weird sulfur hounds. You know, so then it's like 3 sulfur hounds, 3 breaches, and 2 old big robots here with Benazarius Call. I like that. I do like that a lot. It's cool, edit. I don't really have a lot to say other than it's cool, it's alright, but it does depend on the price because the price is important. However, I don't know the prices. So I could be saying that all of this is cool, but then the price could be something stupid. And knowing Games Workshop, the price could be something stupid, so I'm being cautiously optimistic here. However, Imperial Knights Chainbreaker Lance. Now, this one's quite surprising. Sorry. I've noticed there's just a little tiny man. Why is there a little tiny man? Is he Canis Rex by any chance? Sorry, to see if the website was working, I did like a quick scroll down, so I didn't really see this little tiny man here. I thought it was just 5 knights, but no, it's just I didn't. Oh mate, this is just like a little tiny man there, just standing out in the open. Sorry. But yeah, this one's cool. It's putting me off. You've got 1 giant fuck off titan, 1 fuck off knight, Imperial Knight Sir Hector leads. So this knight here, which is led by Canis Rex. I just didn't expect to see him so tiny. Anyway, you've then got 2 Helverins and 2 Warglaves as well. So I, again, don't know the price, but it's serviceable if you play Imperial Knights, which I know a few people do, actually, for some weird reason. I think it's just because they like having big old mechs that can just stomp around and take a shit ton of damage. Yeah, Imperial Knights. I like Imperial Knights. I've got one for my Nurgle Demons army, but as a force on their own, I wouldn't recommend. Because you do lose out a lot on points and stuff. However, I didn't. Sorry, right. I'm gonna move on because I didn't expect tiny, just a little guy there. Ha! It's every Adeptus Ridiculous joke ever, isn't it? Ah, well, Warhammer fans do one thing, and that's beat a joke to death, and then beyond. Ah, dear. Anyway, Death Guard, Council of the Death Lord, and this one's a pleasant surprise. Because you've got Mortarion. You've got 5 Blightlord Terminators, and you've got a shit ton of Plague Marines. I quite like this one. The reason I like this one is because it isn't like the sodding Combat Patrol Death Guard one where it's just, here, have a fuck ton of Poxwalkers. This one feels quite good, and it's Mortarion. I like Mortarion. I've got a soft spot for Death Guard, even though I collect Night Lords. Death Guard were my first army, so I've got a bit of a bias when it comes to Death Guard stuff, and yeah, it's cool. I just want them to add one other character though, like the the Plague Flamethrower bloke, the Noxious Blight Hauler, because that unit's really fun. But you know, it's cool. You've got your Blightlord Terminators and you've got 14 Plague Marines. What more do you want? And of course, you've got big old Mortarion there. Then on the other side, you've got Thousand Suns, where it's Magnus, with 3 Exalted Sorcerers and 20 Rubric Marines. They are really not fucking around with like the troops, with the troop section of these boxes. If you want troops, then you know it's quite good. and you get Magnus and Mortarion out of these. So yeah, I quite like this one as well. They're solid. Then we get on to the weird choices, which I'm going to say this now. You could easily have just replaced these two with Xenos and it'd be fine. You've got Imperial Fists, Bastion, Strike Force, which they're Imperial Fists. I don't care. I'm not a fan. I know that Falrak has probably already wanked himself half to death when he saw this, but I don't know that many people that like Imperial Fists that don't play something more interesting like Crimson Fists or Black Templars. OG Imperial Fists seems like a weird choice. And but that being said, you do get Torgaragon. I cannot pronounce his name. But yeah, cool. I don't have an opinion because it's Imperial Fists, other than they're boring. Also, that looks like a gun. I don't know. All I know about Torgaragon is that in game his fists are ×3 strength, so he can just punch through everything. It's insane. But that's about it. Imperial Fists. And then you've got Raven Guard. And I was talking about Raven Guard a couple of days ago. More specifically, Cave on Shrike. And then he appears in this Battle Force. Now, I'm not saying that I've got the ability to summon models out of thin air, but it's a huge coincidence. Oh dear, you could easily just have a generic Space Marine one, rather than try and theme it, but, what? Again, it's Raven Guard. I don't know a lot about Raven Guard, they're just Diet Night Lords. But Cave on Shrike there is just the edgiest boy. Look at him, with his stupid floppy hair. And you get 2 Invicta Warsuits. That's cool. With this one, you don't get Invicta Warsuits. Instead, you get Primaris Aggressors and 15 Heavy Intercessors. Cool. Oh dear. Bloody Imperial Fists. Anyway, yeah, it's really weird seeing Raven Guard here after I talked about them. Anyway, I've been Idiotic Synergy, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully, there's a Age of Sigmar one. I haven't seen that one yet. Don't know if there is one. I've sort of recorded this straight after it was announced, so there might be an Age of Sigmar one, and if there is, I'll do a video about that. Anyway, take care, stay safe.